Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something you might have heard, something that causes a bit of career anxiety, right? AI won't steal your job, but someone using AI might.
Yeah.
It's quite a statement, isn't it? So our mission today is simple. Cut through the noise, give you a clear roadmap. We want to show you why knowing AI, this sort of AI literacy, is basically your new career currency. And importantly, how you can start building that now and figure out where you actually fit into this whole changing picture. And thankfully, we've got an amazing guide with us, an expert in data science, PhD from IIM Bangalore, founding faculty at Masters Union, really at the forefront of teaching and coaching in the AI space.
Thanks for having me. It really is probably one of those crucial conversations we can have right now.
Yeah.
Because this core idea, it's a genuine paradigm shift happening as we speak.
Right, a paradigm shift. So the core message isn't that AI is the villain, the job killer.
No, not really. It's more of an augmenter.
An augmenter. Okay,
Yeah.
Could you unpack that a bit? What does augmentation actually look like day to day?
Well, what's really striking, and something our sources emphasize, is the timeline. We're talking about people potentially feeling regret, serious regret, as early as next year, if they don't start engaging with AI now.
Next year. Wow, that's really soon.
It is. This isn't some far-off sci-fi scenario. It's why some are calling this, the most important career deep dive for 2025. AI is here. It's integrating.
Okay, so if it's here now, what's the deal with jobs? We hear about job losses, especially repetitive tasks.
True, some highly repetitive roles will be impacted. That's undeniable. But the bigger story, the one the World Economic Forum data points to, is massive job creation.
Right, I saw that number, 85 million displaced.
But 97 million new ones created. It's a net positive.
97 million.
And it's not just about swapping old jobs for new ones. AI can actually take over the tedious stuff, freeing up our mental bandwidth.
For more meaningful work, more creative stuff.
Exactly. Maybe even, dare I say, helping us move towards things like a 4-day work week eventually, freeing up human potential.
That's a hopeful angle. You mentioned thinking of AI not just as a tool, but like electricity.
Precisely. Think about when electricity became widespread. It didn't just automate looms or something. It fundamentally changed everything. How people lived, how businesses operated. Every single profession was touched by it.
Irrespective of whether you were an electrician or not.
Exactly. AI is shaping up to be that kind of systemic foundational shift.
So it'll become ubiquitous, almost invisible in our work.
That's the trajectory, yes.
Which means this AI literacy isn't just another skill to list on a resume. It's fundamental.
It's your new career currency.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the time to start building that capital is right now.
How? Where do we start? It sounds daunting.
It doesn't have to be. The best way, honestly, just start playing with the tools, get your hands dirty.
Make slang. Like, just experiment.
Yes. Learning by doing. Don't be afraid to just try things out, see what they can do.
Okay, most people know ChatGPT. It's kind of the default. But you mentioned others in the sources. Perplexity, Grok, Gemini.
Right, and they're not all the same. They have different strengths. It's good to know which tool fits which task.
So give us the quick rundown. ChatGPT versus, say, Perplexity.
Okay, so Perplexity, think of it as your high-accuracy brainstorming partner, great for ideation, especially for white-collar tasks.
Yeah.
It's known for being pretty accurate, less prone to making stuff up, what we call hallucination, because its data is more focused on generating new sound ideas.
Less fact-checking needed, potentially. Okay, and ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is the all-rounder, the versatile conversationalist. Its power comes from that massive data set and all the feedback it gets from millions of users like us. It's constantly learning.
There's always a but.
But yeah, sometimes it struggles with basic math or can be almost too polite because of its ethical guardrails. Still incredibly powerful. Just be aware of its quirks.
Got it. Versatile, but maybe double-check the calculations. What else is out there? You mentioned DeepSeek.
DeepSeek. That's a really interesting one out of China. They've added similar accuracy to ChatGPT, but using way less computing power, less cost.
Frugal innovation, you called it.
Exactly. It's particularly strong with analytical stuff, STEM questions, math, science, because that's what it was primarily trained on.
Downsides?
Well, potential data privacy concerns, given its origin. Its language skills beyond Mandarin and English are limited, like with Hindi, and there just aren't as many tutorials or guides for it yet. But the paid version, much cheaper.
Okay. And Grok, that's the Elon Musk one, right? Tied to X-Twitter.
Grok, yes. Its integration with real-time Twitter data is its unique selling point. Great for timely analysis, even mimicking personalities.
But similar limitations, fewer learning resources, maybe language constraints.
Similar limitations, yes.
Yeah.
Not as much community support for learning it yet.
And finally, Gemini from Google.
Gemini. Its big advantage is tapping into Google's enormous data ocean. That generally means high accuracy, high precision. It tends to be more fact delivery focused than conversational, perhaps.
More like getting an answer than having a chat.
Something like that, yeah.
This is super helpful for choosing the right tool. Are there Indian AI developments we should be watching too?
Oh, definitely. Things are moving fast. Keep an eye on projects like Kisan GPT, aimed specifically at farmers, and Bhashini, which is focused on breaking down language barriers for non-English speakers in India, plus Ola Kruchem, Ola's big push into homegrown AI.
Very cool. So, step 1, play with these tools. Get comfortable. What's step 2 for building this AI literacy?
Step 2 is crucial. Mastering prompt engineering.
Okay, engineering sounds intense again. Is it coding?
Not really. It's actually much more about communication. Clear, effective communication.
Like talking to it properly.
Exactly. Think of the AI as like a very smart intern or your own executive assistant. You need to give clear instructions.
How does that work in practice? More than just asking a simple question.
Oh, much more. You need to provide context, tell it who you are, why you're asking, set the scene. Then your question needs to be precise, detailed, specific. The more effort you put into the prompt, the richer the output.
Longer prompts are better. Deeper prompts.
Generally, yes. More context, more detail usually leads to a more relevant and useful response.
Okay, so let's take an example. If I wanted to know about, say, high-potential, high-paying jobs in India using AI, how would I prompt that effectively?
Good one. You wouldn't just ask, what are good jobs? You'd say something like, okay, I'm researching career trends for young professionals in India for the period 2025-2030. Based on current industry data, economic forecasts, and known AI impacts, please list the top 5 most promising career paths known for high compensation and significant growth potential within India.
Much more specific. Context, time frame, criteria.
Exactly. And then it would likely give you that list we see in the sources. Data scientists, AML engineers, cybersecurity folks, renewable energy specialists, health tech.
That makes sense. But even with a great prompt, AI can still hallucinate, right? What is that exactly?
Yes. Hallucination is a key limitation to understand. It's when the AI basically makes things up. It might state incorrect facts or connect things wrongly, like ChatGPT apparently told someone it knew me as a friend, which isn't true.
How does that happen? If it's so smart?
Because it's not understanding in the human sense. It's working on statistics, predicting the most probable next word or concept based on the patterns in its training data. It doesn't know things are true or false.
Oh.
It just calculates probabilities.
So it's pattern matching, not actual knowledge. That's important to remember. Human oversight is still critical.
Absolutely essential.
Okay, beyond these general chatbots, are there more specialized AI tools, for specific tasks?
Loads of them. There's literally a website called There's an AI for that. You can find tools for almost anything now. And often these specialized tools are better for their specific niche.
Give us a couple of examples that might be useful.
Sure. Notebook LM, another Google tool, is fantastic for students or researchers. You feed it your own documents, textbooks, articles, lecture notes, even podcast transcripts.
Okay.
And then you can ask it questions about that specific content. Ask it to summarize, create study guides, generate questions, even turn text into audio, like a mini podcast of your notes.
And because it's only using my documents.
Exactly. It doesn't hallucinate outside information because its world is only the text you provided. Super useful.
That sounds incredibly powerful for learning. What else?
Gamma.ai. Need to make a presentation. Give Gamma a prompt describing the topic and audience, and it generates the entire script and the slides. Visuals included.
Seriously, the whole thing?
The whole first draft, yeah. Obviously, you'll want to tweak it, but it's a massive time saver.
Wow. Okay, 1 or 2 more.
Napkin AI is neat for structuring thoughts. If you have complex ideas, it helps turn them into clear flowcharts or visual maps. Organizes your brain, basically.
Useful for planning projects or papers.
Definitely. And then you have the visual generators like Midjourney or Glee. You describe an image and they create it.
We've all seen those amazing images. Useful beyond just art.
Sure. Storyboarding for films or ads. Creating visual aids for complex scientific concepts. Explaining physics visually. Lots of applications. And they also bring us right into that AI ethics conversation.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've learned how to play, how to prompt, and about specific tools. Now, the big question, how does this relate to my job? You developed a framework for this, right? To help people classify themselves.
Yes, exactly. It helps to understand where your role sits in the current landscape. We can think about jobs along two axes. First is repetition, how much of your job involves doing the same tasks over and over. Second is knowledge. How much specialized learning, skill, or expertise does your job require?
Repetition and knowledge. Okay.
This creates a sort of four-quadrant map. And interestingly, you can even ask a chatbot like ChatGPT to help you analyze your own job description and figure out where you likely fall.
Use AI to see how AI might affect you. Meta. Okay, let's go through the quadrants. Category 1, high repetition, low knowledge.
Right. Think assembly lines, basic quality checks in manufacturing, tasks that are very routine and don't require deep expertise. Here, AI robots and computer vision are taking over many tasks. The human role shifts to operating or overseeing the AI tools. You need basic AI literacy to work with the robots, but you probably don't need to know how to design them.
Okay. Category 2, high repetition, high knowledge. Seems contradictory.
Not quite. Think about customer service. Many interactions are repetitive password resets, common questions, but handling each one well requires knowledge, empathy, specific protocols.
Okay, so repetitive structure but nuanced execution.
Exactly. Here, AI chatbots handle the super common FAQs, the simple stuff.
Right.
Humans then step in for the complex cases, the emotionally charged issues, the things the bot can't handle or might misunderstand. So you need to understand the AI's limits.
Makes sense. Category 3, low repetition, high knowledge, the expert roles.
Precisely. Doctors, lawyers, consultants, engineers, every case, every project is unique, demanding deep, specialized knowledge.
How does AI augment them?
Significantly, it accelerates the grunt work. Like the lawyer example. Drafting a contract might go from 5 hours to 50 minutes because the AI handles the standard clauses. Or think about AI analyzing medical scans in rural areas to flag potential issues like TB for doctors to review later. It's a massive efficiency boost.
And building these specialized tools requires?
That requires deep AI expertise, the AI engineers, the machine learning specialists. They need the design capability.
Got it. And the last one, category 4, high knowledge, low repetition, but maybe more creative.
Yes, think artists, writers, content creators, designers, architects. Highly skilled, but each output is unique.
How's AI impacting them? We hear about AI generating music, art.
It is, and this is where those ethical questions become really sharp. Questions about ownership. If AI learns an artist's style, who owns the output? What about the data used to train it? Consent, bias in the output.
So this category really pushes the boundaries of AI ethics.
It absolutely does. It demands roles focused specifically on AI ethics, critical thinking about AI societal impact.
This framework is really clarifying. Where do entrepreneurs fit? They seem to span categories.
They do. An entrepreneur might start in one quadrant, but needs to understand AI across all of them, not just for their own productivity, but crucially for knowing who to hire and how to leverage AI to scale their business, stay competitive, stay profitable.
And military roles.
Also impacted. AI is used in designing new systems, but also operationally by soldiers in the field using AI-powered tools for reconnaissance or analysis. So both design and operation.
Understanding this framework seems key, then, for anyone planning their career path. Looking ahead, how do these AI models keep getting better? What drives their evolution?
It boils down to three main things, really. 1, better data, feeding them more diverse, higher quality information to learn from. 2, improves engineering, making the learning process itself faster, more efficient, refining the algorithms. And 3, which is crucial, human feedback.
Our interactions, like when we rate a response or refine a prompt.
Exactly. Every time you use these tools, every time you correct them or give them a thumbs up or down, you're providing valuable feedback. You are part of the training loop. Your learning journey directly helps the AI improve.
That's a powerful thought. We're actively co-evolving with these tools. You mentioned the ethical crossroads earlier, especially with visual AI like DALL-E. Can you expand on that? What's the core tension?
It's this fundamental question about creation, ownership, and influence. When an AI perfectly mimics Van Gogh's style, is that plagiarism or sophisticated flattery? If an AI generates legal advice that turns out to be wrong, who's liable? The user, the AI developer, the company.
Big questions with no easy answers yet.
Exactly. And how we answer these questions collectively will really shape our future. Will it be more cyberpunk, dystopian, technology run amok, or more solarpunk, optimistic, human-centric technology used for collective good? Our ethical choices now steer that direction. Human judgment, understanding nuance like inspiration versus copying, becomes incredibly valuable.
So navigating this complex future, it also means huge opportunities, right? Those 97 million new jobs.
Absolutely enormous opportunities, roles that frankly didn't exist a few years ago.
Like what? What are the hot tickets?
We're talking AI engineers, machine learning engineers, data scientists. Those are still core. But also prompt engineers, specialists in fine-tuning models for specific tasks, and increasingly AI ethicists.
And the compensation reflects this demand.
Very much so. High demand, relatively low supply of qualified talent right now. We're seeing starting salaries, 0 to 2 years experience, in the range of 7 to 15 lakhs INR per year. That jumps to maybe 15 to 35 lakhs for 3-6 years. And for senior experts, 7-10 years plus, it can easily go above 1 crore INR depending on the specific role and the company, of course.
Those are serious numbers. Is India poised to capture these opportunities? Is there government support?
There is significant focus. The India AI mission, budget allocations, the push in the National Education Policy, NEP, to get AI literacy into schools. You mentioned 2,300 schools already have programs. That's building the pipeline for the future. India is definitely in the race.
What about global competition? China, for instance.
China's approach is very ambitious and centralized. They've declared a goal to be the world leader in AI by 2030. And they've mandated AI literacy in all schools, even for young kids, like 6-year-olds.
Wow, starting that young.
Yes. It's a top-down strategy to ensure their entire future workforce is AI fluent. It's a major factor in their rapid progress.
Fascinating and perhaps a bit daunting. Okay, we've covered so much ground today. From that core idea, it's not AI, but people using AI to concrete steps, playing with tools, mastering prompts, understanding where your job fits.
It's about taking control, being proactive rather than reactive. The tools are there.
So the final thought for everyone listening. As you look ahead, how will you start using these tools, not just for work, but maybe to simplify your life, clear up mental space? How do you make sure your path aligns with that positive solar punk future we talked about?
The choice really is yours. And the opportunity to build that future is now.
Absolutely. And look, this was really just scratching the surface. Our next deep dive will go even further. AI entrepreneurship, AI in the corporate world, these things called AI agents, how it's all shaking up industries. But for today, a huge thank you to our expert. This has been incredibly insightful, genuinely practical. Your perspective on education and AI's role is invaluable.
My pleasure. It's an exciting time. And empowering people with this knowledge is key.